Standing on your mat, toes forwards, feet hip width apart. Good. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths before we start. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Okay, from the top down today, let's tuck the chin and lengthen up through the back of the neck. Broaden out through the chest. Open and broaden out through the chest. Drop the shoulders down. And as you drop the shoulders down, think about pulling down with the shoulder blades. Good. Drop the ribs. Some of you won't feel there's enormous amounts of difference there when you drop the ribs, but some people do stand with the ribs poking out here. So make sure the ribs are down. You bring your hands onto the sides of your hips and rock the pelvis backwards and forwards. So tucking under, sticking your bottom out a few times. Tuck under, stick your bottom out, just feeling that range, feeling how stiff it may feel. Good. And then settle halfway in between, so not too aggressively tucking under and certainly not with your back very arched, somewhere in between. Good, good. And then soften your knees slightly. When you soften your knees, it should feel like you're working a little bit up through your quads. Your glutes should be strong. Good. And then we're going to rock forwards and backwards without lifting the toes or the heels. So your foot is still flat on the floor and you're just rocking onto the toes and then back onto the heels. Good. Keeping the feet flat onto the floor, on the floor. Good. And not so far that you lose your balance, of course, as well. Good. And then going from side to side. And very quickly feeling like you're tensioning up through the leg, through the glute, through the thigh on each leg as you go from side to side. Good. And then we're going to stop on your left side or right side if you're just going to mirror me. That leg should feel really strong and you should feel ready to lift the right off the floor. And we're going to lift it out to the side like that. So keeping the body strong throughout, trying not to come over to the side there, just taking the leg out to the side and down. So you tap the floor and then take the leg back out again. And the work should all be happening in here, as well as the strength through the standing leg. Good. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Take the weight onto the other leg, and that should be a little bit of relief for this leg, but then it has to start working again. So tighten up through that standing leg, everything straight down like a plumb line, and then the other leg out to the side, straight out. 2, 3, 7, 8. 2 more. Brilliant. And then give your legs a little shake there. Good, good. Okay, you may want to turn sideways on your mat, just like I have there. What we're going to do is bring the right leg up to the front, tap the toe down, and then we lean forwards into that RDL, which we've touched on a few times before. So up to the front, down, lean the body forwards and the leg backwards. The temptation is to twist like an aeroplane there, so come straight. Okay, let's keep going. Up to the front, lean. Good. Tap the toe each time up to the front, back. Brilliant. 3 more. Lovely. Make your decision how low you go on those ones. Cool. Last one. Lovely. Take the weight onto the other leg. Good. Up to the front, down. First few always feel a little bit unstable, and then your body seems to learn what it needs to do. Good. Three more. One last one. Brilliant. Give your legs a little shake. Okay. Stretch straight up with that right arm. Stretch down with the left. Allow your body to come to the side and bend your knees down into it. So my knees are a little bit bent there. Great. And really try and separate the distance between the fingertips, between right and left. Scoop around in as big a circle as you can. Hands together. So that's a nice twisted position there, rotated through your chest, knees bent, still pointing forwards. Come around to the front, let everything hang, and then curl back up and drop the shoulders. Up with the left, down with the right, bend your knees, separating the fingers on either hand. So not like that, one hand to the next. Round, round, round in a big circle. Hands together. Feel this bit opening up here. To the front. Good. And curl. Back up. And roll the shoulders a couple of times. Great. So, on to the end of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tuck through the chin. And come all the way down to the bottom, wherever that may be for you. So please don't worry if it feels like it's not very far. Let your head go heavy, your arms go heavy, and hang there for a little bit. Good, good. An interesting thing to do is to think about scooping in your tummy when you're in this position. For me, that makes me go down that little bit further. Good. I want you to come back up halfway. Bend your knees and arch the back the other way. Good. And then curl back down again. Halfway up, bend your knees and stick your bottom out, essentially. Come back up and down to the floor again. Good. Okay, coming forwards, hands and knees. Good. I want you to bring both legs back behind you a little bit there. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, but you can see my knees are backwards compared with my hips. And what I want you to do is to stretch one leg back and hold. That gives you a really nice stretch down through the back of the calf there. But you also have to work really quite strongly through the arms. So get that sense that through the shoulders and the arms you're working really strongly. We're just holding that pose, pushing your heel back. Good. Come back in. Remember the knees should still be further back compared with your hips. And then we're going to stretch the other. Your toes are firmly tucked under and you're pushing through that straight leg, straight through the heel. Your foot is lodged and you're pushing your heel away, squeezing your glute and pushing the heel away. And as you push the heel away, strong with the arms, pushing in that direction as well. Good. We're going to do one more on each side with those. Good, so make sure you're firm through your hands, push the leg away, good. Push away into the heel, toes firmly tucked under. Good, bring it in and push away into the other one. Great, squeezing in through the tummy, strong through the shoulders and the arms. Good work. Keeping the knees in that position, so we're in a kind of half plank position, I suppose. We're still having to work almost like we're in a plank. And from there, I want you to lower down onto the elbows and then come back up onto the hands again. For those of you with wrist problems that might find this a little bit more difficult, you might want to just do something different, like rocking from side to side there. So off we go again, down onto the elbows, keep your tummy strong, and back up. If you know you're strong and you do these normally, you could actually do a full plank, like that. But in a nice Pilates controlled kind of manner. Sometimes it's nice to slow it down and do it in a nice controlled way, down onto the elbows and come back up. Everything strong through your abs. Go again, elbows, back up, and one more. But then we have to go down on the other arm first. Good. Ready to go. Other arm leading. 2. Scoop in the tummy. 2 more. And last one. Brilliant. Then bring your knees in a little bit and your hands underneath your shoulders. And then we're just going to do a few back stretches where you're curling all the way up and then dropping all the way down. Good. Curl up and down. Last one. Lovely. Okay. Turning around into sitting. Cool. And then just grasping your hands around your knees. We're going to do a few of these exercises with the feet on the floor like this. So we're curling back and then coming up tall. So you're just doing the pelvic tilts essentially in that seated position. So you're sitting up tall on the sitting bones, tuck your chin, drop the shoulders, tuck under, scoop back and pull up tall. Tuck under and pull up tall. You're turning your lower back into a nice C shape as you curl in that direction, scooping under the tailbone and then pull up tall again. Good. And this kind of fixes the upper body, so you're having to work through the pelvis and the lower back. Shoulders are dropped. Actually, that really does make you work through those abdominals quite strongly. Getting used to doing it in the right way, scooping in. Couple more. Excellent. Good stuff. Well, let's do a couple of rolls back to relax things off after that. So pick up the feet from the floor. Think about how your abs have to work to keep the legs up off the floor. And then curl and roll back and up tall and stop with your feet still off the floor. Roll back and stop. Good. Lovely. 2 more. Brilliant. And bring the feet down. Okay, so coming down onto the backs. Curl down and then just notice and feel the contact of the floor underneath your lower back, back of the ribs, back of the head, feet. Feel your feet down through the floor as well. And from the top down, let's correct, tucking the chin, lengthening out through the back of the neck. So sometimes you're in the right position, but actually it's a matter of just activating muscles, the muscles that you need to hold yourself there. So tucking, like I say, lengthen the back of the neck, open out the front of the chest. Backs of the shoulders coming down towards the floor. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, trying to activate the muscles around your shoulder blades to pull down away from the ears. Good. Try and maintain what we've done so far when you move on to the next body part. Breathe in and out and sink those ribs down. Good. Rock the pelvis backwards and forwards, finding what your range is, and then you can find the middle point. Tighten through the pelvic floor, but nothing too snappy and fast, just a slow squeeze and tighten. Good. And then think about lifting one leg at a time. Good. Think about the knee going in the direction of the chest that way. Don't swing your toes up. Some of you may have your heels too close, some might have the heels too far away. If your heels are far away, you end up doing a bit more of that. If your heels are too close, then again, you're not working right. So it's somewhere in between, lifting and down, whilst keeping the ribs down and keeping the pelvic floor switched on. Those of you slightly more experienced can think about just drawing in through that lower tummy. Good. Now moving on to sideways, lower the knee out sideways. Don't let the hips rock from side to side. Think about those both feet being nice and firmly planted in the floor, other than when you pick it up to take the leg over to the side. Good. Lovely, sliding the leg away. Don't quite have enough room here between these two walls. I always seem to wedge myself in a slot. Out and pull back in. Stretch away and pull back in. Good. Cool. Keep going, pull the toes up, push away with the heel. And you can slow these down as much as you like. I felt myself moving maybe a little bit too fast on those ones, so it's worth sometimes just slowing it down a little bit. Good. Okay, right leg up to tabletop, hold it there, make sure that knee is above the hip, and then start circling sideways. Circling sideways, if that makes sense. Yep, you're drawing the circle with the knee. You're not drawing the circle with the foot. Good. Yes, circle with the knee. And try and stay as stable as you can, pushing down through the other leg. Circle around the other way. Brilliant. Bring it down. You might feel that quite a lot in that quad muscle, but a bit of toning there doesn't go amiss. Other leg up, draw in your tummy, circling out. Get used to pushing down through the other leg gently to give yourself that nice stable base. Tucking the chin, open the chest, circle round the other way. Good. Nice. Bring the leg back down. Then pull your knees and your toes together and roll the legs over to the side, picking up the hip and the foot, and then pull back in. Rolling over to the other side and pull back. Good. Go again. Good work. Keep hollowing the tummy. Keep drawing in through your tummy. Pick up the hip and the foot, take the leg over and pull back. Brilliant. Lovely, one more each side. Cool. Okay, separate the feet again. Right leg up to tabletop, draw in through your tummy, pick up the left, right down, left down, and continue. Right up, scoop in, left up, right down, left down. Keep going. Good, so you should think about belly button towards the spine to a certain extent. This is an umbrella. Someone on the inside is pulling down the umbrella. So you've got to get used to feeling strong with that inward scoop of the tummy rather than pushing out and bracing out. Swap sides, other leg first. Brighter out here than I expected. Good. Cool. Last one. Good work. Normal to feel it around the back, a little bit of tension around the back there, because you are using the back muscles too. Good. Okay, with the right leg, come up to tabletop, stretch it away, tighten up the thigh, back in and down. Good. You can see the placement of my hands here. My thumbs are on my ribs and my fingertips stretching down. Scoop in. Good work. Ribs are down, tummy's in. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Really important to keep your breathing nice and relaxed. One more each side. Lovely. Okay, so let's just rock the pelvis backwards and forwards there to ease any tension that you may be feeling. And then we're going to bring both legs up to tabletop again, scooping in your tummy, tapping the toes down, tap and lift, tap and lift. Good stuff. Good, you can practice tapping away towards the end of the mat there, see whether you can still work your tummy hard enough. Think about that as a bit more of a challenge, and you tap closer towards your bum if you know it's a challenge already. Good. Brilliant, both legs down. Let's do a couple of shoulder bridges to ease things off a little bit. Heels close to your bum, tucking under, curling up, pushing your knees away, and then tuck the ribs down first and curl, curl, curl back down. Good. Tucking under, curling up, push your knees away. Breathe in at the top, breathe out, and lower back down. Good work. Okay, so next level, legs up, tummy in, stretch away and in, away and in. Remembering you can always go back to this level if you want to. Keep drawing in the tummy. Good, tucking the chin, lengthening out through the back of the neck. Well done. Keep your breathing relaxed and keep it nice and slow and rhythmical. Brilliant. Pull your knees into the chest. Good. Roll them from side to side. Great. And then from here we could go straight back out with both legs up, pin them together though, and roll them from side to side there. Scooping in the tummy, being aware of that sort of pendulum going to the side, and then you pull it back using your abdominals over to the other side, and then pull it back. Good-o. Great work. Keep drawing in. Good. From there, do you think we could draw a circle with both legs around? So both knees drawing a circle in one direction. You should probably feel it in your quads there a little bit. And then circle round the other way. Good. Squeezing in through the tummy. Brilliant. Bring those knees in. Great work. Wiggle the toes, point one, point the other. Good. Where are we at with our timing? That's good. Good stuff. So both feet on the floor. Let's do a series of different shoulder bridges. Feet, toes pointing forwards, tucking under, pushing your hips away. Stay at the top. Take one knee out and back up. Take the other knee. I find this a really good stretch through the hips and the inner thigh. So take the leg out far enough that you feel that stretch. Good. Stretch your arms up above your head if you want to. Keep squeezing in through your tummy. And keep breathing. You can support your glutes if you want. Support your hips up with your hands there. 3, 2, 1, and curl, curl, curl back down. Good. Have a little wiggle just to ease off those muscles. Good. And then we will curl back up again. And I want you to let go of one glute and then squeeze. And let go on the other side and then squeeze. And keep going. Let go and squeeze. Let go and squeeze. Nice. Good. Cool. 3, 2, 1, and curl back down. Pull the knees in again, because that back will always need that little bit of easing off, just a little bit of relaxing off there. Good stuff. Okay, so with the feet on the floor, let's do a set of our hundreds. If you always know that your neck needs a bit of support, you can always have one hand behind the neck, the head there. So if you crunch, lift the head and shoulders up, find that little arch in the back, maintain it, arms down by your sides, and pulse the hands up and down. Push the shoulders down away from the ears, and really feel like you're closing down at the front there, ribs to pelvis at the front. Good, whilst keeping that arch in the back. And you can add the breathing. Breathe in for 5 and out for 5. In and out. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Support your head anyway with that right hand and left up and down. Maintain that breathing. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Out. In, out, and swap. In, 2, 3, 5, 2, 5. Good. Out, in, and out. Last one. Out. Lovely. Good. So that's some good work around those abdominals. So let's turn on to our sides. Good. I want everyone, as long as your shoulder will allow you, to be nice and flat today. So your head is on your bicep and your arm is out. When we're propped up, I've realised you can really fix through that arm. So you can fix everything as you use this. If you're down here, you're just not so gripped onto the floor, which makes it that little bit more difficult, I think, even though officially this is level 1 of these exercises. So arm nice and stretched out. Tuck the bottom hip back. Always have a little tuck of the ribs backwards as well on the bottom side of you, because that helps the top half to rock forwards, which really blocks you from rolling the hip back like that. Good, so your bottom's scooped and tucked under, as is your tailbone at the back, everything's tucked, and then you lift that top knee. Good. Hand on the hip can help. Your thumb should be where the work's going on, just as I choose to talk while the train goes by. But your fingertips at the front should be ensuring that the muscle at the front is nice and relaxed. It's not going to feel too relaxed. I can feel mine working a little bit, but as long as the bulk is working at the back there, the glutes. Good. Okay, good work. Lift up the feet in line with your bum, so your toes should be in line with your bottom, and lift up that top knee there. You should suddenly feel that your hip will open further. Good. Bottom leg down, and just a few little pulses forwards and backwards, really trying to hold on around your waist, around the rest of your body, controlling those pulses backwards and forwards. I'm not going to have enough room when I stretch that leg out. Come a bit further up. Good. Now stretch out. Tap if you can behind you, and then tap in front of you. And you should feel this area stretch really nicely here as you tap behind, then in front. Good. Cool. 3, 2, last one. Great. Okay, other side. Remember, we're flat through that arm. Your head is on your bicep unless you have shoulder problems that stop you from doing that. Tuck your bottom hip back, tuck your ribs back, bottom under, ribs down, scoop in the tummy, feet in line with your bum, hand on the hip, lifting that knee. Good. Take some nice breaths while you're in that position. Good. This hand on the hip kind of locks the hip where you want it as well and gives you feedback as to whether you're doing a good job keeping that top hip forwards. Feet up to hip height and go again. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Relaxing that breathing. Good. Bottom leg down and then just a pulse backwards and forwards. Good. Now stretch that leg out, tap behind. Some of you may not be able to get towards the floor, and actually I don't think I can quite so well on this side. Tap, and then in front. Behind and in front. But you may twist and sort of arch your body to the side there. You don't have to try and keep it still on this one. Lovely. Let's turn over onto the front and stretch through one quad there. Good. Keeping both hips down on the floor, fronts of the hips, tucking the bottom under and pulling your heel towards your bottom there. Good. And if you're miles away, this is definitely one to work on. Tight quads can cause all sorts of problems. It can cause problems in your hamstrings as well. It can cause problems with your back. So other leg, knees fairly close together, but you don't have to pin them together. Tucking the bottom under and pulling your heel towards your bottom. Normal is either heel on bottom or just a little bit away. If you're miles away, if you're up here, definitely something that you should work on. To do these stretches every day if you do find that particularly tight. And because we've just worked our glutes, push up onto the elbows there and sneak one leg in underneath, sitting into it there, and that should stretch that glute. Good. Good. Stretch back with the other one. This wall's quite useful there to pop the other foot on and tuck the other one underneath. Good. Nice. Okay, so now we're in this position. We did a few plank exercises earlier, but let's do some of our press-ups to keep those arms nice and strong. Let's do today, because I'm feeling a bit cruel, 3 times 10. I think the last time we did press-ups we did 2 times 10, so let's do a 3 times 10. Choose which one is best for you. Your box press-up, your half press-up, or your full press-up. Or I've done in the past is sort of a 3/4 one where you've got one knee down on the floor like that, so they're quite nice as well. Okay, are we prepared? Whichever one you choose, I want the chest to come down as low to the floor as you can. Good, all right. 3, 2, 1, off we go. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Now if you did those a little bit slower than me, don't worry, you might as well stop when I stop and do however many you can do in that time. Good. Okay, and then your last set of these. Tuck your bottom under, and off we go again. Eight, 9, 10. Brilliant. It's okay. Feeling like a bit of a tyrant after that one. I think we need to do lots of nice stretching after we've done that. So, sitting either cross-legged or down, or sit back onto your heels, nice and tall. If you take your left hand Sit on it and take your head over to the side. Good. Dropping that shoulder down. Great. And then to the other side, sitting on the hand, taking your head over to the side. Great. Okay, with your hands just behind your head a little bit, I want you to curl the whole body down and forwards. And then come up tall and open out through the elbows. Curl the whole body down and forwards. And then open again. Good. Off we go again. Breathe in. Breathe out as you curl back down. Good work. Can we come forwards completely here and stretch through the glutes a little bit and a bit around the shoulders there? Good. So coming up onto one knee and one foot. Hook your hands together. Stretch straight up. Elbows straight. Tuck your bottom under and lunge a little forwards into it. Good work. You can go from side to side. Challenges your balance a little bit. It also makes you use your muscles. Other side. Never like to miss an opportunity for that. Bottom tucked under. And then from side to side. Great. Lovely. So coming up in standing, we'll do a few standing stretches. I would like you to stretch one heel forwards, bend the other knee, and stretch your bottom straight backwards, sinking down into it. Everything pointing forwards with the toes. And you put a bit of weight down through that knee. I've got my hands on my right knee, by the way, there. Good stuff. Good. Coming all the way up just to ease the back off a little bit. And then the other knee forwards, other heel forwards. Breathe. Good. Standing again, step your left leg back. Push your heel down to the floor. So we're stretching through the front of the hip a little bit, but mostly down through that calf. I want both hands together in front, and I'd like you to open out to the side there. Good. Towards the same leg as the heel is back. If that sentence makes sense to anybody. Good. Lovely. Come up, step the other leg back. Heel down to the floor. Arms in front, off we go. I'm sure I did 10 on the other side, but that felt like a lot on that side. Brilliant. Stop there. I want you to step both legs nice and wide, bend both knees, and your elbows should be able to fit onto your knees there, and you can push outwards into it. You can drop one shoulder down at a time, which encourages that stretch. Good. And then coming back up, and let's lunge one way to stretch the inner thigh there. Good work. Up tall, drop the shoulders. Lovely, and then over to the other side, stretching the inner thigh. Great. Cool. Shuffle your feet back in again, toes pointing forwards. Breathing in through your nose as you come all the way up onto the toes, down onto the heels, drop your shoulders and elbows wide. Good, breathe in, lift your shoulders. Breathe out and drop. Breathe in, stretch up onto the toes, round and down. Fantastic. Breathing in, stretching all the way up onto the toes, down onto your heels. Drop the shoulders, elbow nice and wide. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and stretch up. Breathe out, round and down. Good. Roll your shoulders a couple of times and have your hands pointing up. I usually do this at the beginning of the workout, but it's actually quite nice to do it at the end because you're opening the chest. Good. Hands out and back together. Bottom tucked under. Weight back through your heels. Tucking the chin. Good. And then hands out. Stretch the arms out. Pause there for a second, stretching your fingertips up out to the side. Elbows in and hands back together. Stretch out. Good. Drop the shoulders. Common mistake here is to lift up the shoulders as well, so dropping the shoulders as you do it. Knees nice and soft. Bend just a little bit. Good. Keep the arms out to the side and rotate down and back up. Down and up. Good. Keep widening and broadening the arms out to the sides as far as you can. Palms forwards, up and down. Signal for somebody to come and rescue you. Nice, and last little bit, hook your hands behind your back and then bending forwards and stretching over the other way. Breathe a couple of times there. And come back up, and then the last thing really is just to recorrect your posture. Toes forwards, knees are bent, bottom tucked under, ribs down, chest open, drop the shoulders, tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. And hold until you go to bed.